Hey guys, welcome back to Mind Your Conversions, brought to you by Fibr. If you're new here, this is where we break down the art and science of marketing with our hosts, Jack and Emma. They will help you understand marketing better, explore fresh strategies, and most importantly, suggest you how to improve your website digital experience. So whether you're a seasoned pro, or even if you're just getting started, you're at the right place.
Imagine checking your website analytics tomorrow and realizing that 64% of your traffic has just vanished overnight.
Yeah, just completely gone.
Right, and not because people stopped searching for what you do or because your product suddenly, became irrelevant.
No, not at all.
The traffic is gone because a machine decided to read your site for them, summarize it, and then deliver the answer directly to the user.
It's wild. Welcome to the era of zero-click searches.
It really is a profound shift. I mean, for the last 20 years or so, search has been a navigation tool.
Exactly. You typed a query, and the engine gave you an index. Just a list of blue links to destinations.
Right, the classic Google experience.
Yeah. The fundamental contract of the internet was that you, the user, do the reading, you visit the sites, you piece together the answer yourself, and in return, the website gets your traffic.
But that contract has been completely rewritten.
Totally torn up.
Because you ask a question now, and you don't get a list of places to go. You get this single, highly confident paragraph generated on the fly by engines like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, or Copilot.
Yeah, they do the heavy lifting for you.
And for anyone listening to this deep dive right now who relies on people actually visiting their website, whether you're a business, a publisher, a creator, this is a massive existential shift.
It really is.
Because if page one of the internet has literally shrunk down to a single sentence, the obvious question is, how do you make sure your brand lives inside that sentence?
Right, because if you aren't in that synthesized paragraph, you basically do not exist to that user. The engine is doing the reading and synthesizing on their behalf, so you have to become the source the engine chooses.
Which brings us to our mission for today's deep dive. We've got an incredibly detailed source document on the table today, the Fibr GEO Pillar Page PDF.
It's a fantastic resource.
It really is. We are going to decode this concept called Generative Engine Optimization, or GEO.
CEO, yeah.
And by the end of this, you are going to have the exact strategies you need to become the definitive source that these AI models trust, quote, and link to.
Okay, let's unpack this because the data on this evaporating traffic is just staggering.
It is. I mean, the numbers in our source material paint a very stark picture of what is happening out there right now. Independent clickstream research actually found that out of 1,000 Google searches in the US, only 360 clicks actually reach the open web.
Wait, seriously, only 360 out of 1,000?
Yeah. Almost 2/3 of the people searching never leave the results page.
That is wild.
They get their answer from the AI summary and they just close the tab.
Just close it and move on.
Exactly. And user behavior hardens incredibly fast when you introduce these AI summaries. Like, Pew Research data observed that when an AI summary appears at the top of a results page, users click traditional links only 8% of the time.
8%? Wow. Yeah. And when there is no summary, they click 15% of the time. So the presence of that synthesized answer basically cuts traditional exploration in half.
And the craziest part of that Pew Research to me is that people almost never click the links inside the AI summary itself either.
No, they don't.
They just read the paragraph, trust it, and go about their day. So I'm trying to visualize this shift, right? Traditional SEO, search engine optimization, it feels kind of like trying to build the biggest, flashiest billboard on a highway.
I like that.
You want to rank high, catch the eye, and force a detour. But GEO, generative engine optimization, it feels more like trying to be the expert witness a journalist calls to quote in a front page article.
That's a really good way to look at it.
Right. You aren't building the billboard anymore. You're providing the undeniable facts for someone else's story.
What's fascinating here is that your analogy perfectly captures the mechanical difference between the two systems.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because traditional search engines, they're document ranking systems. They look for, keyword density, backlink profiles, site architecture, and they use that to award you a stable position on a page.
Like ranking number 1 or number 2.
Right. But generative engines don't rank documents. They operate on a synthesis workflow.
Synthesis workflow, okay.
They retrieve passages, they evaluate the origin and reliability of that specific chunk of information, and then they compose a custom answer.
Right, on the fly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So traditional metrics like impressions and average position, they just don't map to this new behavior. In the era of GEO, Your new North Stars are share of answer and citation rate.
Share of answer. Meaning, out of all the times someone asks a question about your industry across the entire world, we are measuring how often the AI explicitly mentions you in its response.
Exactly. Because there is no position 3 anymore.
Right.
There is only the answer. So if the goal is to be that expert witness the AI relies on, you have to fundamentally change the physical structure of your information to make it appealing to a machine.
Which brings us to the actual anatomy of a page.
Yes.
If we want to be the AI's preferred expert, how do we write the resume? Our source goes into immense detail on this, and it seems like it requires designing for both humans and machines simultaneously.
It really does. This is where editorial instinct meets technical architecture.
Okay.
A GEO-ready asset has to parse cleanly for an algorithm. So the source lays out highly specific structural rules to achieve this.
Like what?
For instance, descriptive headings. In traditional writing, you might use a clever, vague title to spark curiosity.
Right, like a hook.
Yeah, but in GEO, a heading must state the precise utility of the section below it.
Got it. And the section on FAQs really stood out to me. The rule they emphasize is 1 question per answer.
Yes, that's critical.
You can't just write a rambling conversational paragraph that addresses 3 different nuanced points at once. An FAQ must be this, like, atomic, self-contained chunk of knowledge.
The exact same logic applies to step-by-step processes. I mean, they need to be explicitly numbered.
Step 1, step 2.
Right. But perhaps the most crucial structural element is the use of explicit tables.
Tables.
Yeah. If you present data, a narrative list is no longer sufficient. You need a dedicated table that clearly labels units, ranges, underlying assumptions, and caveats.
Oh, wow.
And the source highly recommends adding a methods, or how we know box, right near the top of the page.
So just laying out your methodology for the world to see right away.
Exactly.
Like, we tested 50 products over 3 weeks using these 3 criteria. It's essentially showing your work.
Yes, because it builds immediate trust with the retrieval pipeline by proving the provenance of your claims.
Right, it shows you didn't just make it up.
Exactly. But beyond the visible text, you must provide machine-readable context behind the scenes.
Okay, getting to the technical weeds a bit.
A little bit. This involves schema markup, tagging your content as an article, an FAQ page, or a product. It involves maintaining stable URLs. And crucially, ensuring any PDFs on your site are text-based, not just scanned images.
Wait, let's pause there because I really want to make sure we understand the how behind these technical requirements.
Sure.
Explain schema markup to me like I'm 5. What does tagging actually look like to a machine?
Think of schema markup as a translator's dictionary sitting invisibly on your website.
Okay.
When a human looks at a page, they see a big, bold number and infer, just based on the layout, that it's the price of a product.
Right, because it has a $sign next to a picture of a shoe.
Exactly. But a machine doesn't see layout, it just sees a wall of text.
Oh, interesting.
So schema markup is a piece of code wrapping that number, explicitly saying this string of digits is the price, and it is in US dollars.
Ah, so you are removing the need for the bot to infer anything.
Exactly.
And the PDF rule. Why does it matter if a PDF is an image or text? I mean, a PDF is a PDF, right?
Well, not to a machine. If you scan a physical document and upload it as a PDF, it is essentially a photograph of words. A human can read the photograph. But a machine, without running really resource-heavy optical character recognition, just sees an image file with 0 extractable data.
Oh, so it's just a blank box to the AI.
Pretty much. If your big important white paper is an image-based PDF, the AI cannot lift a quote from it, so it just ignores it completely.
Okay, I have to push back on this whole concept on behalf of anyone listening who actually likes writing.
Fair enough.
If we structure everything in these rigid atomic chunks with numbered lists, explicitly coded tables, and methodology boxes, aren't we just making the internet incredibly boring and robotic?
I hear that a lot.
Like, what happened to narrative flow? What happened to storytelling?
That is definitely the most common friction point for creators transitioning to this model. But the goal isn't to kill the narrative.
It isn't.
No, the goal is to prevent the AI from guessing.
Guessing.
Yeah. When an AI reads a beautifully written, poetic paragraph full of metaphors, it has to decide which part is the actual factual answer to the user's query. If it guesses wrong, or if the context is tangled up in flowery language, it won't risk it. It will simply abandon your page for a simpler, clearer source. Ambiguity is death to what engineers call liftability.
Liftability. Okay, that's a great word. The ability for the model to literally pluck a fact out of your page without breaking it or losing its context.
Exactly. If we connect this to the bigger picture, clear structure actually preserves the author's original meaning.
How so?
Because when the AI synthesizes your page, a tightly written, well-labeled table ensures your expertise is translated accurately to the user.
I see.
You can absolutely still have your beautiful narrative around it, but the core facts, definitions, and data points within that narrative need to be unmistakably clear and modular.
Okay, that makes sense. You can have the story, but the facts need handles on them so the AI can grab them.
Perfect way to say it.
So we format the data to be impossible to misinterpret, which immediately makes me wonder, once we've formatted the data perfectly, how do we prove to the AI that the information is actually true?
That's the next big step.
Right, because we have to move from just formatting the data to validating the data.
And this brings us to the blueprint of evidence. The source introduces a framework called the answer map.
Answer map.
Yeah. In the old days, you built a keyword list. Now, you map out user intents.
Okay, so shifting focus from words to what they actually want to do.
Exactly. You list the questions your audience asks, and then you plan the exact logical follow-up step they'll need. Will they need a calculator, a comparison matrix, a troubleshooting guide?
I'm trying to picture replacing my entire keyword strategy with an answer map. It feels like I have to stop anticipating user vocabulary and start anticipating their actual workflow.
That's it, exactly. You are building a path of utility rather than just a net for traffic.
Yeah.
And to build trust along that path, you need undeniable evidence.
Which is where it gets really interesting to me. The emphasis the guide puts on first-party data and reproducible methods.
Yes, that is huge.
They actually suggest that if you reference data in an article, you should include a downloadable CSV file right there on the page, like an actual spreadsheet file.
Providing the raw materials of your research, a CSV, an open source template, or raw testing data, it proves your claims aren't just empty marketing speak.
Right, it's not just fluff.
Exactly. You are offering the AI the very data you use to draw your conclusion. It is a massive credibility signal to the retrieval model.
And this validation doesn't just happen on your website, right? The guide talks about this idea of portable knowledge.
Yes, because AI models don't just read your blog, they roam the entire open web.
That's right. They're everywhere.
They crawl APIs, developer portals, review platforms, and business directories. Your facts need to match across all of these external surfaces.
That makes sense. Consistency is trust.
Exactly. The source even mentions that something as simple as publishing a vector logo and clear leadership bios helps the engine definitively resolve your entity.
Wait, hold on. A vector logo. Why does the file format of my logo change how an AI reads my company's facts? That seems so obscure.
It does seem weird, but think about it. A standard image file, like a JPEG or PNG, is just a grid of colored pixels.
Right.
A vector file, like an SVG, is actually constructed using mathematical formulas and text-based code.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So an AI can parse the underlying code of an SVG, often finding embedded metadata about your brand right in the image code.
Oh, wow.
It's just another layer of machine-readable verification that confirms exactly who you are across the web.
That is fascinating. So we're building this massive web of trust. But does this look the same for everyone? Say, a company selling enterprise software versus someone selling t-shirts online.
The core principles apply across the board, but the source notes some distinct nuances depending on your market.
Like what?
Well, for B2B business to business, the AI is often synthesizing procurement research.
Right, people looking to buy expensive software.
Yeah. To win there, your content needs heavy emphasis on compliance documentation, ROI math, and deep implementation guides.
Makes sense.
But for BDC business to consumer, the AI is usually answering comparison or lifestyle queries. There, you win by optimizing for latency, mobile load times, and providing crystal clear sizing, fit, and material data.
So to put this into a real-world example for you listening, let's say you're writing a blog post about the best running shoes for overpronation.
Classic example.
Under the old SEO rules, you'd just list the shoes, stuff the post with keywords, and hope for the best.
Pretty much.
But under GEO, you can't just list the shoes. You need to include your specific sizing charts, clear definitions of what stability means in this context, and your actual reproducible treadmill test data.
Exactly.
You do this so that when the AI synthesizes a shortlist for a runner, it pulls your exact specs and cites you as the authority.
You have to become the definitive primary source, and you have to put your name on it. Authorship matters deeply to these engines, real humans with real credentials.
Which ties into how you maintain this content over time, right? The source specifically warns against a tactic known as fake freshness.
Oh, fake freshness is a big problem.
I honestly despise fake freshness. It's like putting a new coat of paint on a broken car and trying to sell it as next year's model.
That's a great way to describe it.
Like when a site just updates the timestamp on an article to today's date so it looks new in the search results, but they haven't changed a single word of the content.
Generative engines are totally immune to that trick.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, they compare the current version of the page with their previous crawls.
Yeah.
If you claim the content is newly updated, but the substance is mathematically identical, the engine learns it cannot trust your signals.
Wow, it actually penalizes you for lying.
Exactly. You need real dates, real authors, and a genuine changelog explaining what was updated if you alter a policy or a guide.
So building these atomic tables, adding CSVs, and proving authorship makes you the perfect candidate on paper.
On paper, yes.
But applying these rigid new rules usually means breaking years of ingrained marketing habits.
Oh, definitely.
Which is where I imagine teams are hitting a massive wall. So let's talk about the traps people fall into during this transition and how we can actually automate some of this process.
The transition really requires unlearning almost everything from the last decade.
I bet.
The most common trap is continuing to chase keywords instead of answering questions. If your page is stuffed with variations of a search phrase, but never actually answers the user's query in plain modular language, the model will just pass right over you.
Burying the good stuff is another huge trap mentioned in the source.
Yes.
If the core definition or the actual formula the user needs is buried halfway down the page under 3 paragraphs of fluffy introduction, it won't get quoted. The model is looking for efficiency, not a slow reveal.
We also see the trap of bloated FAQs, where publishers cram 3 different subtopics into a single drop-down answer.
Right, destroying that atomic structure we talked about earlier.
Exactly. And finally, the trap of overproduction.
Yeah.
The old mindset was publishing 50 medium-quality blog posts a month to cast a wide net.
Just churning out content.
Yeah. In the GEO era, you are far better off publishing 5 incredibly well-structured, deeply sourced, and verifiable assets.
Quality over quantity has never been more mechanically true.
Absolutely.
But going back and doing this manually for thousands of existing web pages is just a daunting thought.
It's nearly impossible to do manually at scale.
That's where the source introduces a platform called Fibr, presenting it as a solution stack to scale this exact process.
Right. Fibr essentially acts as the translation layer between your current messy website and the pristine structure the AI engines demand.
Okay, how does it do that?
It starts by generating what they call a GEO score.
A GEO score.
Yeah. This tracks your large language model presence across major platforms like ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Gemini. It shows you where your brand appears and the sentiment of those mentions.
And they have this feature called Chat Insights that I thought was really cool.
Oh, Chat Insights is fascinating.
It doesn't just tell you if you were mentioned, it exposes the LLM's reasoning for why it said what it said. It helps you spot the exact gaps in your definitions or sources that caused you to be left out of a citation in the first place.
Exactly. It's like seeing the grader's rubric. But what really caught my eye were the automated agents.
Oh, right. The agent.
This is where we move from just analysis to actual action. Fibr uses specific AI agents to optimize your site for other AI engines.
Machine-to-machine optimization.
Exactly. There is an agent called MX, which runs continuous A/B testing on your pages. But it isn't testing button colors for humans.
Right.
It dynamically tests different structural layouts against an LLM evaluator to see which version gets cited more frequently.
That's incredible. It's literally an AI figuring out what another AI wants to read.
Precisely. Then there's AYA, an agent that monitors site speed and uptime because a slow site won't get crawled reliably by the ingestion bots.
Makes sense.
And finally, there's LIV. This one integrates directly with your analytics, like GA4, allowing you to map the new pipeline of traffic.
So you can operate like a modern optimization team without needing a room full of developers to execute every tiny structural tweak.
Exactly. It automates the heavy lifting.
So you have the dashboard and the tools to play this new game at scale. But here's a very practical question that I know is on everyone's mind.
Okay, let's hear it.
What happens if an AI engine hallucinates? Or what if it gets my brand totally wrong?
Yeah.
Because under the old system, you could just fix the typo on your website or ask a publisher for a correction. How do I fix a mistake made by a black box machine?
It is a really frustrating scenario for a lot of brands, but the source outlines a very specific protocol for this.
Okay, what do we do?
Well, you don't start by shouting at the engine or submitting feedback immediately. You start on your own site.
Interesting.
First, publish canonical facts on a page that is incredibly easy to cite. We're talking numbers, policies, pricing rules, dated and signed, with that methodology box right at the top.
So you make the truth absolutely undeniable on your end first.
Exactly. Second, you tighten your entity clarity. Make sure your brand name, your product names, and your integrations are distinctly defined so the model stops mixing you up with competitors or lookalikes.
Right, clear up any ambiguity.
And third, you run monthly prompt scripts. You actively test the major engines with a fixed set of questions about your brand and log the errors.
So you're essentially QA testing the AI's knowledge of your company.
Exactly. When you spot a hallucination, you first look at your own site and fix the root ambiguity. Maybe your heading isn't clear or your table is missing units, causing the bot to guess.
Ah, I see.
Only after you've made the truth crystal clear on your end do you use the engine's feedback channel, the little thumbs down or report button, to flag the hallucination.
That makes a lot of sense. Don't complain until your own house is in order.
Right. This raises an important question, though, about how we measure success broadly in this new paradigm.
Yeah, because if we aren't tracking traditional organic sessions and raw page views the same way, what are we actually looking at?
Well, the metrics of success are shifting toward referral traffic, specifically from answer boxes, and the actions users take once they arrive.
Like tool signups or time on page.
Exactly, or completing that next step you designed in your answer map. You're tracking the quality of the follow-through, not just the raw volume of the initial click.
Because the people clicking are different now.
Yes. You are optimizing for high-intent visitors who already got their baseline answer from the AI and are now coming to you to take a specific action.
So what does this all mean? If we zoom all the way out, the internet is fundamentally shifting from a passive library of documents to an active engine of synthesis.
It's a huge transition.
The old rules of shouting the loudest with keywords, vague headlines, and mass-produced content just don't apply when a machine is doing the reading for the user.
No, they really don't.
To survive and thrive in this new landscape, you must be verifiable, your data must be structured, and your expertise must be easily quotable. You really have to look at your own projects and ask yourself, are you still trying to build flashy billboards, or are you building undeniable evidence?
It is a profound shift in how we package and distribute human knowledge. But, it also leads us to something much deeper to consider.
Oh, what's that?
Well, we spent this entire deep dive discussing how to optimize for the machine summary so that humans can get fast, reliable answers. But if AI engines become the ultimate frictionless arbiters of what information is served to us, what happens to human serendipity?
Oh, wow.
When we stop browsing the messy open web, when we stop falling down random rabbit holes and only read the clean, synthesized paragraph, what unexpected discoveries are we going to lose?
Wow. That is a heavy and fascinating question to leave on. The ruthless efficiency of the machine versus the magic of the human.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Mind Your Conversions, brought to you by Fibr. We hope you're walking away with fresh ideas and practical strategies to elevate your marketing and digital customer experience. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave us a review. Thanks for listening. Until then, take care, and we'll see you next time.